Kawatsi Hopa. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to bring a little history of the Pueblo of Laguna, uranium, um, and the Anaconda jackpot mine, and how that came about. People kind of want to know what motivates me. I never thought this Charlie Kirk thing would have to do with uranium and rare earth elements. Mm. It's sad to know that Trump and Macron were making phone calls right before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. We'll leave it at that. But the other thing, when I heard about uranium and Indian reservations, I thought, well, I know a little bit about that. And then I started hearing bicol, which I haven't heard that in probably at least since 2013 when I was back in Alabama. Unmarked black helicopters showed up. Yep, Rich Hoffman tried to find those at Redstone. Couldn't. All I knew that they had some previously at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but had no idea why they showed up at 11 a.m. the morning after I arrived there at 9 o'clock that freaking night before. Yeah. And then what else happens? hmm After my little conversation with Dr. Thomas Richardson, is that what his name was? Dr. Tom, no. Did talk to Bearden's group, by the way. Dr. Thomas Bearden. Um, here was two identical cars, white ones. One stopped right in the middle of Highway 231, headed north, right there in Farley, Alabama. Right there, right past the little Dollar General, Family Dollar. And then the other white car pulled off the road right in front of me. There were two men and two women. Two of them started to get out. hmm And I just pulled out one of my weapons and went to horseback riding stance, had my shoes off, and said, "This ain't effing happening today." Meantime, the lady in the vehicle had a cell phone up, something, was taking pictures, taking videos the whole entire time. Then people that pulled off in front of me got back in the car. They all took off north. But they came from the south. Like they came out of that Redstone Arsenal Gate down there where Automatic Electric was. I forget the name of the road there, the intersection, because I used to live off of it on Cheney Thompson. But anyway, uh, I'm not even going to go into some of the shit that I was put through during childhood. But as far as the uranium issue at Laguna, I don't live on the res. I live off the res. I have been threatened by my village official at a village meeting up in Pewaukee that if I disclose anything, that they would consider pulling my tribal membership. I think he was referring to spiritual stuff, but I don't know. He wasn't too clear on that, so I don't live on the res, but I do own property right off the res, right adjacent to the res. Um, so other than that, um, I have family ties there at Pewaukee where the uranium was found. And, the family story is my mother was also gifted and was telling our grandfather that, the ground felt funny. Something was wrong with the ground and that he had made fun of her about that. Then, not too long after that, is when they found the uranium. And the tribe made up a law that you own what's below above the ground and they own what's below the ground. Um, and my grandfather had 16 sections of land where that Anaconda jackpot mine was located. He was left with 9 acres of land after that. He's buried up at Pilates. But the thing is, while I'm sitting here waiting on a teacher at some point to show up or not, I did show up at least. Um, Still waiting. Let's just say Dante shared something with me, and there were three things with three instructions. And this was 2018 in a private video connected to G Plus, I think. So maybe not, maybe it was an email, I don't know, but I still continue to do those three things that was mentioned in that video, and that's it. So, with that, some of the dreams that I have been very profound, and actually has happened. And in my book, this is a draft, but see that woman right there? There's a piece of calcite. She was in my dream years ago. And she was holding the calcite in front of me, and then she let it go, and it was suspended between her fingers. And she was able to change it from a solid to a liquid to a gaseous state without losing the parameter on it. Which now I think there's a plasma state, quantum state. Not sure about that. Don't quote me. But anyway, I found her face right there. This one. You see, this was my grandfather. That's where they found the uranium. That was his mother, and her mother. So, when my ancestors who are deceased come to visit me and tell me things and show me things, I really pay attention. And they're not happy right now what's going on with all this land issue at Laguna and around the world. You know, who would have thought the uranium from Laguna would just be dispersed all over the freaking world for purposes of war and destruction and harming people? You know, that would not be what they wanted. So, I really don't know who's running the tribe right now. I know Skip Bear's retired, he's gone, but he holds a lot of secrets along with his wife, Deb Holland. So I did reach out to Deb this morning to her New Mexico governor campaign. And I had a few questions for her that were very important because they're related to Pueblo of Laguna. So we'll see about that. But anyway, that's where I'm at. And I'll go over the Thicol stuff, finish that up shortly. Brutus has come over here from next door. He needs a bath, and I need to get up and send him home. So, later.